Good evening. It is Friday, November 8th, 2024. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna. Thank you so much for joining us. Law enforcement is making significant progress in investigations following the arrest and charging of a young man for causing the death of a Sufra resident known as Jarrock. Jasmine Duncan begins tonight's reporting.
Reports from police indicate that on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, a male juvenile was arrested and charged for causing the death of 76-year-old Dunstan Butcher, alias Jarrock of Buto, Sufra. Butcher unfortunately lost his life on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, and based off police reports, at about 10:19 a.m., police officers attached to the Sufra police station responded to an assault at Darnley Alexander Street in Sufra. Initial reports indicated that one male was attended to by personnel of the Saint Lucia Fire Service, but he later succumbed at the Sufra Hospital. During the conduct of investigations, one suspect had been formally interviewed by officers. It is stated that the unidentified individual was escorted before the 2nd District Court on Wednesday, November 6, 2024, where he was remanded to the Borderley Correctional Facility. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Whilst some speculate that the death of 21-year-old N.K. Saintville was an accident, police have ruled it a homicide and have now issued a warrant for the arrest of a man in connection with this murder.
Now, exactly 2 months later, the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force have released a wanted bulletin with the header, "Have you seen him?" bearing the face of one Dan Phillip of Marie-Therese Street, Grosley, in connection with the murder of 21-year-old N.K. Saintville. The incident, which claimed Saintville's life, occurred on the night of Sunday, September 8, 2024, at the Pigeon Point Beach in Grosley. Preliminary inquiries about this incident revealed that Saintville was in the company of others when a gun went off, leaving him with an apparent gunshot injury to his lower extremities. He was subsequently conveyed to the Owen King European Hospital for medical treatment. However, on Monday, September 9, 2024, was pronounced dead at the institution by a medical practitioner. The police force is now seeking the assistance of the public in locating Dan Phillip in connection to this death. Anyone with information in regards to his whereabouts is asked to contact the Criminal Investigations Department at 456-3770. Alternatively, anonymous tips can be provided by dialing 555, the crime hotline, or by utilizing the RSLPF crime hotline application. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Still on the subject of law enforcement, 3 years have passed since Tobel Gabriel, a Balata resident, was fatally shot in his own home. Despite the silence from authorities about the case, relatives and friends of Gabriel remain optimistic that those responsible for his death will face the consequences.
November 8th, 2024 marks 3 years since the life of 23-year-old Tobel Gabriel was cut short at his Balata residence. At the time of his death, the budding entrepreneur and photographer was laying on his couch between 10 and 11 p.m. and was shot numerous times by an unknown assailant. A lone gunman ran out of the house shortly after the gunshots were fired and took off in a getaway vehicle. Tobel's belongings, including his laptop, phone, chains, and gaming equipment, were left in their usual location, which drew many to believe that this was a targeted attack rather than a robbery. In 2021, Andre Collymore, then Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crime management, said the police explored information received from the general public and stated that an update on the matter would be provided early January 2022 as to where they were in the case. He indicated that they fully intended to pursue the suspects in the matter. Now, 3 years later, there have been no developments in the case, and despite the promise from the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force to provide an update, nothing has been said. On the first and second anniversary of his passing, the news team was able to speak with the father of the deceased, But as time passes and the silence of the slowly moving hands of justice turn, so too is his strength to speak. Although justice has not prevailed in the case, the family and friends of the slain young man remain hopeful that one day the assailant will reveal him or herself. For the Hot 7 TV News, Chrissy Bakey reporting.
So in the first segment of the broadcast, the POV. Today you shared how you would resolve a dispute with a friend. Here is what you had to say.
You sit down and you talk to the person and reason out in a proper way as can be, because violence is not the answer. Violence will just lead to quarreling, fighting and death. So the more you can sit down calm and you solve it, it will be better for you. Goodbye.
I handle disagreement with my friends by, trying to communicate with them, and trying to put them on a positive set. Also, calling up onto the father, talking to me, because I have to talk to myself to know how to handle talking to my friends. You understand? Because there's a lot of people you talk to. Not everybody you talk to is your friend, but that's the way you deal with situations like that. You have to learn how to calm down yourself or talk to yourself before you know how to talk to anybody or any friend of yours or anybody in person. So the best solution I can say is call on to the father and then talk to yourself.
The way you handle it is by being quiet. Being quiet, listen and be quiet and just observe everything, and then you could avoid it.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. All right? So I don't find myself in no role with man, either woman. All right? Now, I have a problem. Passengers? I don't know problem with passengers. I don't know problem with passengers.
Stay calm. It's just like any other conflict. Conversation, communication is key, but communication isn't really anything about comprehension. But I feel like a lot of people, when they get into a disagreement with their friends, they tend to ignore the hardships they've been through that made them stronger, that made them friends in the beginning, and they just throw that away over one disagreement. And I completely disagree with that, because just take the time, settle down, and then discuss like human beings. That's all I have to say.
Well, honestly, you are asking the question, how do I handle the conflict with a friend? But there are some times that you may try to handle it with kindness with an individual, but sometimes that person might be very aggressive, and then when you're trying to say, all right, sorry, and so we keep on like knocking you, pushing you, and there are times, you see, there's something about us. We all are human beings. We all have an anger inside of us. We cannot think that, right? And there are some times that we can go beyond, and there are some people who want to walk away and then just forget about it. But then sometimes, even once you're walking away on something, that individual that you have a problem with will still walk on your shoulder. Boy, that man can walk on me and say, what? I talking to that man, and then I want to smite him, or I want to stab him, or knock out him and something, right? But then how can you do it? But I think the best thing, the best way that I think we can do it, my friend, we need to stay away from trouble. Because sometimes even when you stay away from trouble, trouble comes your way. But then they alone knows that one alone knows how to deal with it. But then there are different people who deal with it. There are some people who want to deal with it their own way and something. But I don't know. But that is how I feel towards it. So friends, let us try to see how much we can just live a better life and something, and then we find ourselves less in problems with individuals and crime, and it's because at the end of it, crime does not pay. It does not pay, because when you probably kill somebody, when you're inside there, you are thinking of, boy, your mind is thinking about, if I knew, I would have thinking that, but it's too late. But let us try to see how much we can try to control our temper. That is what is important.
Want to share your point of view with us on trending topics in the news? Look out for our reporters or head over to our Facebook and Instagram pages at Caribbean Hot 7 TV. Coming up next, free prosthetics are now available to people living with disabilities in Saint Lucia, and the Ministry of Health expedites renovations at VA for Wellness Center to restore health services. The details to these stories and much more when we come back.